Assalamualaikum and good morning to all of you. So today our group will be presenting about premise and facilities hygiene in Islamic perspective.
To start off, we all know that apart from the qualities of purity and safety, the cleanliness aspect of hygiene is one of the main aspects that contributed to the concept of halal in Islam. In Malaysia, especially among Muslims, the phrase halal is well known, but the application of the halal concept among Muslim premises, on the other hand, is something doubtful. And what's more is that there have been several incidents highlighted in social media about the sanitation of this establishment. For example, back in 2011, 3.52% out of 98,302 premises inspected were found to be unsanitary and therefore they were closed under various sections of Malaysian Acts. This, however, does not specify that only food premises are involved in that number, but also the warehouses, slaughterhouses, and even hotels are included to be in the inspection. That would be very obvious to say that these firms do not concern themselves to implement their premise in accordance to the Sharia compliance. And Sharia compliance is more than just separating the halal and haram elements, but it actually covers the entire operation of the premise, which includes the equipments, the facilities, the practices, and the people within the building itself. We are focusing specifically on the sanitation and the cleanliness part of the matter, so what we are going to present for today is about the existing convergence of premise and facilities, as well as how Islamic hygienic principles could be linked with the related management and the system within.
Hygiene is the most important topic in Islam, as the Quran teaches Muslims to be in physical hygiene and ritually clean whenever possible. There are proofs of why Islam press on hygiene. First of all, Islam has always concerned on hygiene or cleanliness. One of the main reasons is because cleanliness is the aspect of good appearance and the beauty of every environment. The basis of halal itself also closely related with hygiene and health, which also combines two words, halal and tayyib, that means something lawful and good. Cleanliness is also the key to its principal form of worship, such as prayer. As for Muslims, the prayer will not be acceptable unless his body, clothes, and place where he performs the prayer are all clean. There are some legal evidence, which is cleanliness invites to faith, and faith leads its possessor to the garden. This is reported by Al-Tabarani. This means that the cleanliness and faith are closely related and important to each another. Allah also mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 222 means that indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who are constantly repentant and loves those who purify themselves. There are some steps premise contributes to the implementation. First is food premise surface and equipment must be washed with hot water and detergents before, during, and after production. This is to keep from any dirty stain and keep the premise always clean to use. Next is equipment and utensils should be stored where they can be kept clean when not in use. This is important so that the equipment and utensils can be used in a comfortable condition. Lastly, cloths and sponge used to wipe down surface and towels used for hand drying. This is to ensure that the premise will always look clean for the workers and also for the customers. Its surroundings should also promote zikrullah and free from sinful elements. This can be seen in a hadith from Anas radhiyallahu anhu. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that these mosques are not the place where one can throw any dirt, urine, or stools. They are meant for reciting the Quran, glorifying God, and prayer.
And today I am going to talk about Sertu, Sama, and pest control from the Islamic perspective. First is Sertu. Sertu means cleansing something from the mughallazah najis, such as dogs, pigs, and their descendants. Mughallazah najis should be cleaned by using 1 time water mixed with soil followed by 6 times clean or mutlaq water. Halal logistics and supply chain operations and activities involve the use of transports, trucks, and containers. Premises that uses warehouse with its working surrounding areas and infrastructures. All these pose as a possible threat of contamination. In the event if there are traces and presence of najis, mughallazah, everything that touches it must be cleaned using the sertu process. Next is sama. According to Malaysian Standard 2012, tanning or debug is defined as cleaning or purifying the animal skins other than the skins of pigs, dogs and their families for the purpose of producing halal and Sharia compliance and skin-based products. In summary, the consensus of the scholars on this issue was that tanning purifies all types of animal skins. Scholars from the Shafi'iyah and the school of Hanafiyah, however, made exemptions that two types of skins, which is the skin of dogs and pigs, will still not be considered as purified even after they both undergoing the tanning process. Lastly is the pest control. Pest control is the process of controlling, managing, minimizing or removing undesirable insects and other pests from the spaces occupied by people. Pests are attracted to food premises since it is an ideal place to live and reproduce. Since pests pose a significant threat to health, pest control is extremely important. Not enough control can lead to pest infestation and serious consequences to consumer health. Besides health risks, pest infestation will lead to insignificant waste and therefore commercial loss. The loss caused by pest infestation of raw materials or the finished products is large.
As we know, tourism in Malaysia and other Muslim countries has rules on unacceptability tourist behavior such as drinking alcohol, making love in public, wearing sexy clothes, gambling, prostitution, or maybe staff handling non-halal food. So in Malaysia, we have one Malaysian standard which are requirement for Muslim-friendly hospitality services. So this Malaysian standard actually developed with the aim to ensure that products or services provided for Muslim traveler are in according to the Sharia compliance. So the objective of the standards are to help an organization or person produce and manage the Sharia compliant Muslim friendly tourism for products and services, and to preserve and protect the integrity of Muslim friendly tourism, products and services, and also to enhance the customer satisfaction by meet the customer requirement. There are some basic characteristics of Sharia compliance hotels such as halal food and no alcohol to be served in the premise and hotel, having the Quran, prayer and arrow the indicating of the direction of Qiblat, beds and toilet positioned not to face the Qiblat, and also prayer rooms available in the premise hotel. Other than that, no inappropriate entertainment, predominantly Muslim staff with a proper Islamic dress code, separate saloon recreational facilities during male and female, and also separate room or floor for unmarried couple between male and female, and also no gambling and alcohol drinks in the hotel lobby or restaurants, and no prohibited foods and beverages in the hotel fridge. In practicality, they're conducted by the 5-star hotel in Shah Alam, which is Grand Blue Wave Hotel. They provided Qiblat direction and praying mat for every room, and they also have services on providing Al-Quran upon request. And special room at level 17 are exclusively for women guests with security access card. And also reveal the hotel room for Di Palma Hotel at Ampang. So this hotel actually was the pioneer of Sharia compliant hotels in Asian region. So for Di Palma Hotel, they specifically use the in-floor concept. The level 6 is dedicated only for Muslim guests. So by that, each of the room will provide Qibla signature, prayer veils, Quran, Yasin, and hand provided in the toilet for ablution friendly, and also the azan will be heard in every prayer time. It's same with the PNB Darby Park Suite Kuala Lumpur that involve two Muslim-friendly hotels and resort in their properties. So the Qibla direction and sertu process to clean the equipment that used by non-halal food sources are the facilities they will give to the Muslim guests in every rooms.
First, hand wash in Islamic perspective. The hand washer is the single most important way to prevent the spread of infection and personal hygiene all the time. The first thing that Prophet Muhammad SAW said, the priority before we start our daily life is cleanliness. It begins with washing hands first after waking up from sleep before we touch or hold any objects that are around us. Second, the practice of correct hand washing method as one of the ways of preventing viral disease such as COVID-19 that occurs in Malaysia from the perspective of hadith. Proper hand washing is essential to avoid contamination of food by food handlers. Harmful bacteria and virus that exist in the hands of controlled food decrease when practicing the correct hand washing method. Plus, one important aspect of Islamic ritual where washing of hands is permanent is ablution or as we call wudu. In accordance with Islamic claims, all activities in our lives are oriented towards healthcare and all from guidance and advice to maintaining cleanliness. In the Islamic Sharia, the practice of purging using water such as ablution, bathing, cleaning the najis from the body and shelter is a mandatory things to do worship of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Next, we go through for proper toilet in Islamic perspective. First, as we know, Islamic teachings have emphasized the concept of cleanliness in terms of clothing, building and its surrounding area, as well as purity in the matter of material, possession and administration. The practice in maintaining the cleanliness of this toilet is very important to apply to every Muslim. This is because the cleanliness of the toilet is very important to provide comfort, especially in the overcrowding of very many people in the toilet. Second, from the Islamic perspective, it is necessary to establish the direction of Qiblat first before locating and designing a toilet. This is due to the best orientation of a toilet, it is against the direction of Qiblat. However, if there are some restrictions, one should try to deflect from the Qiblat direction as much as possible. For a mosque, toilet should not to be near or in front of mihrab. Normally, a toilet is located at the end or at the side of mosque. In addition, new design guidelines should be outlined that are more suitable and effective, hence ensuring a higher level of cleanliness and quality of toilet. Lastly, we have tribally maintained and ill-managed posing several safety risks and hazards to user. With healthy, hygienic and well-designed toilet, it will not only draw public to use it for whatever reason, but also attract more customers and tourists to come and spend their money on their place of business, for instance, in a restaurant, petrol station, kiosk and shopping mall. The implication of maintaining the cleanliness of society is first, to increase the productivity of a human life. When we take care of a personal hygiene, automatically our health is also maintained by having good health, allowing us to do our work in comfortable condition. The importance of maintaining personal hygiene is highly demanded in the Islamic religion. Among the reasons that hygiene is important is for the health of the body, as personal hygiene is the key to personal health. Second, by keeping clean, our health will be easier, and it is not easy actually to get caught up with various diseases and even prevent the disease from spreading to others. This is to ensure that the health of the body is always guaranteed. We need to ensure that the surrounding conditions are clean. And lastly, to avoid risk of contamination, maintaining cleanliness includes the hygiene of the operator or food provider by regularly washing hands before and after cooking food or exiting the toilet. Also, preparation should be perfect by ensuring that the ingredients should be properly clean, the food storage system should be controlled, the expired material should be disposed of, and the contaminated material should be discarded regularly.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we go to premise management responsibility. Okay, the first point is Muslim manpower. Okay, every premise that has a halal certificate must follow the guidelines of halal requirements, which is Malaysian Halal Certification Procedure Manual 2011 by JAKIM. And every premise must have 2 employees Muslim. It's not only in restaurant, but it also in hotel's kitchen, bakery, kiosk, or any premise must follow conditions set by JAKIM to have a Muslim employee. Okay, the Muslim employee also shall be coordinator and was responsible for managing halal matters for their premise. Okay. For example, a halal restaurant must ensure their chefs are Muslims. This is because to maintain the hygiene and purity of food, and also to avoid suspicion from customer. Next, premise and facility supervision by Sharia. So, management responsibility to implement the HAS requirements comprehensively and follow the requirements contained in the MHMS, and appoint knowledgeable person, which is halal executive. So to be a halal executive, you must be a Muslim and have minimal approval of halal management diploma or any equivalent approval at least 5 years, and the important thing is to have a halal executive certificate. However, halal executive are responsible for safeguarding the interests of Muslim in ensuring the company's product are in good condition, clean, hygiene, safe and quality, according to established procedures.
So we have reached the conclusion, and what I can lastly mention is that this premise and facilities hygiene require proper steps and procedures that control the operational condition within the establishment for them to be able to produce safe and hygienic products and services for the sake of the Muslim customers and even the employees themselves, and also as a way to improve the quality of their business. However, whether it is from an Islamic or the conventional standpoint, logically the implementation of some of these facilities and practices mentioned by my friends remains mandatory. And there is no doubt that the Sharia compliant premise that prioritize their cleanliness are good and looked for by the Muslim. However, to ensure its full enforcement, it requires a full commitment from the government agencies, policymakers, stakeholders, and even the public. And not forgetting that spiritual cleanliness is also a thing in Islam, and it is very recommended for premises to provide facilities such as musalla to enable the Muslim clients to fulfill their obligation, because in our religion, our soul also needs cleansing and purification no matter where we are.
And that brings us to the end of the presentation.
We would like to thank you for your time and attention for today.
Thank you for listening until the end.
Hope our presentation brings new knowledge for everyone.
If anyone has any questions, we will be happy to open up the discussion.
So that's all from us. Thank you.